Good morning and welcome to Splendor Yoga's Drew half an hour. This is part of Her Canberra's Active April. So I hope you enjoy the next half hour of gentle stretching and calming the autonomic nervous system. So if you're doing this in a chair, I invite you, and I'll just show you now, I invite you to sit on an upright chair that is going to support you with your knees just hip width apart and your feet firmly on the ground, just so that you feel really secure and allow your sitting bones to really sink down into the chair, and that will give you a security during the practice. Okay, so I'll stand up for the rest of the people. So whenever you're sitting down, if I stretch up like this, just come over and always just do what's within your range of comfort. So I'll just put the chair aside for the moment. So the other safety factors for the class are if you have any heart issues or blood pressure issues, make sure that you don't let your head go below the level of your heart. And this keeps everything safe. And if you have any shoulder issues, make sure that you don't lift your arm above the level of your shoulder. Again, that's a safety issue. So let's get going. We'll begin with just a few little activations that are designed to get your body and your mind into the idea that you're going to be doing some moving. So first of all, just gently shake through your wrists, elbows, shoulders, and then take one foot off the ground. So if you need to, make sure that you've got something nearby that you can lean on. So I'll give you an example by leaning on a shelf, and just give your foot a little bit of a shake, give your leg a little bit of a shake, just gently comfortable, warming all those joints up, the knee, the ankle, and we're going to do the other leg, so warming up your ankle, your knee, your hip, just really gently, really getting through both hips now. Lovely little shake through your hips, and then just a bit of a whole body sugar, warming up your whole body. Lovely. And now roll the shoulders one at a time within your range of motion. There's no need for stretching too much at this point. What we're wanting to do is to just warm up the joint itself rather than giving it any particular stretching. And now we're just going to move that rotation a bit further, so it's about midway down your back. Just very gently stretching through the middle part of your back. And now we're going to mobilize your whole spine. So just let your hand reach down, graze your thigh, making sure that it's all comfortable through your body. This is a warming up exercise, so we're really wanting your body to be comfortable here. And now coming up to that halfway position, and now just gently coming back to the shoulders. Lovely. And now we're going to twist sideways along the spine, and we do this by beginning a little gentle twist. So just really gently twisting through the spine. And now the opposite heel might come off the ground. You might even like to take your feet a bit further apart. So if I stand back a little bit, you'll see my feet are now probably more like they're under my shoulders. Now if you'd like to bend your knees so that twist becomes quite dynamic now. Really, and again, always doing this within your comfort level. Lovely. And now coming back, so bring your feet back together. And just relaxing down. Beautiful. So come in a little bit closer. Again, remember if you're sitting down, you can still do that little twist, and I might even just demonstrate that. Just gently twisting from side to side in your chair. Lovely. So we're going to begin our first actual practice for today. It's called EBR, an energy block release sequence, and True Yoga has several of these leading for different purposes, and this is the foundation practice that we're going to do today, and it's the first one that I learned in my teacher training, and when I was learning this I was in an electric wheelchair, so I had to visualize all of the movements. And so if you're compromised with your mobility and that's what you want to do today, please know that it's actually doing something within your body and within your energy system, because doing this over a long period of time is part of what helped me get out of my wheelchair. So we begin with our fingers interlocked underneath our navel. And then your right arm circles around, so it's just lengthening up. Remembering if you've got shoulder issues, let your shoulder drop down. So breathing in, lengthen up, and the lengthening comes from your chest, lengthen up. And then have a slight stretch over to the side. And now as this arm comes down, your left arm comes up so that they cross over. And now your left arm is lengthening up and you stretch through the side of your body. And we'll do that 2 more times. You may like to breathe in as you lengthen up and breathe out as you stretch. We'll now do the left side. Breathing in as you lengthen up, breathing out as you stretch. At this time, my invitation to you is to feel the stretch from the outside of your right foot. So it comes through the whole body. Lengthening up and stretching. Now the stretch comes from the outside of the left foot. And then both arms come to shoulder height and you lengthen up. So palms are facing up towards the ceiling and you lengthen up through this front of your chest. Lengthen up and relax. And you can do this from the chair as well. Lengthening up through your whole torso and breathe out and relax. And this one you might like to try and experiment taking your heels off the ground. So contract all the muscles in your lower abdomen and your pelvic floor. So as you breathe in, take your heels off the ground. It's almost like your torso is lifting your heels off the ground. And just stay there for a couple of breaths if you can, using your thighs, the muscles in your thighs to give you a bit of stability. Really pressing into your big toe, that will also help. And now allow your heels to come back to the ground and arms coming down, crossing over at the bottom. So soften your knees, and then as you breathe in, bring both arms up to shoulder height. Now you may see, but I may not see it, I've got my fingertips just slightly touching my thumbs. And I bring my, they look like swan's heads, I think. Just bending at the wrist, slightly bending at the elbows, and then just let go. Breathing in, bring the fingers in, breathe out. One more time. This time we're going to concentrate on releasing some stress that we've been holding in our bodies. Breathing in and let go. And then let your arms come down to the side. Now as we breathe in, we're going to roll our shoulders open so that the palms face towards the front. And then tucking the tailbone under slightly, curl your spine and your palms face towards the back. Now uncurl through your spine You get to your shoulders and they unfold. Palms facing towards the front and alternating between these two positions. Coming up and opening. Breathing out as your spine curls over. Breathing in. Arms rising. Breathing out. And breathing in. So keeping your shoulders relaxed. Can you see how there's how much space between my ears and my shoulders? Now looking into your right palm, roll your left palm behind you. And then alternate. Now looking into your left palm. And again. I might just step back a little bit further so you can see this. You can still do this if you're sitting in a chair. See how graceful the movement just gradually moves across my arm. And then let them come down, one rotation at a time. And relaxing. And now let both hands rise up as if they're light as feathers. Fingertips just gently resting on the top of your shoulders. Bringing your elbows as close together as you can bring them. And then let your knees soften. And as your elbows come up, your knees straighten. Coming out to the side and knees soften again. So your elbows are drawing circles in the space in front of you. And if you want to use your breath, you breathe in as you come up and you breathe out as you come down. And again, I'm going to sit down so that you can, I'll show you how you can do this sitting, breathing in and breathing out. This is something that you can do at your desk if you're working at a desk. It's really good for opening up your chest, very good for improving your breathing. And now we're going to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to go down the middle and around the outside. So if you can imagine, you're now doing circles. One elbow is doing it clockwise and the other one is doing it anti-clockwise. So you're breathing in as you go up the outside this time and breathing out as you come down the middle. And one more time. And elbows coming, hands coming down, elbows coming down, and relax. And so I'll stay seated for the moment. Please feel free to stay standing if that's comfortable for you. And now we're going to work on our neck and our throat. So I do invite you to work again within the range of your comfort. So as you breathe out, you tuck your chin in and let your chin move down towards your chest. And then as you breathe in, you're going to uncurl your spine and just slightly lengthen up through your chin. So I might just come a little bit closer so that you can see the movement. So tucking in the chin and breathing out as your chin comes down towards your chest. Breathing in as you uncurl and lengthen through your throat, making sure that the head doesn't come back too far. Breathing out and breathing in. One more time, breathing out. Lengthen now. And bringing your chin back into a level position. And now we're going to focus on just behind our ears, the bones just behind our ears. And what we're going to do is we're going to take them to the side and then take those bones down towards your shoulder and coming back up. The other side now, so the left side and down. and back into the center. So we're going to breathe out as the right side goes over and down, and breathing in, breathing out and down. So you might see that there's no twisting in my head. We're just moving in one plane of movement, because the neck doesn't like to go in more than one plane of movement at a time. So we're just focusing on stretching the muscles at the sides of our necks. Whole focus is lengthening and coming back to the middle. Lovely. And so now we're going to twist. Once again, so you're keeping your chin tucked in and it's not going up or down or around. So chin tucked in, breathing out and breathing in. Making sure that we're not going beyond the range of comfort in our movement. Just gently stretching out. Breathing out as we're twisting. Breathing in, coming back to the center. Breathing out. Breathing out. And in. One more time to each side. Lovely. Having a little bit of a sugar. Stretching out. You can have a drink if you'd like one. Okay. So you're going to let your hands come up in front. Place your left hand on your right shoulder. And then just from your hips, twisting around to the right. So keeping your knees soft and relaxed. And then last of all, just let your head come around. There's no need to do a great big stretch on your neck. And then back around to the front. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So right hand onto left shoulder, twisting around to the left. And head moves last of all. Coming back. Now, I shall stand back a little bit so that you can hopefully see my feet. And what we're going to do is we're going to move our feet around to the right. Keep on twisting our spine as the left hand comes up onto the right shoulder and we're twisting around. And coming back to the front, moving the feet around to the front, and we'll go around to the left side now. Right hand onto the left shoulder, keep on twisting, and the right heel comes off the ground. So press into that left, the ball of the left foot. And coming back. And now I'm going to demonstrate that again, but this time I'm going to sit on the chair so that you can see how easy and what an excellent thing this is to do, sitting on a chair, particularly if you're spending a lot of your day sitting down. So again, we're just going to twist from the hips. So we're moving this twist up the spine. Left hand onto right shoulder, twisting around and looking around to the left. Now the twist won't be as accentuated because your hips are on the chair are locking you in. And that's just fine. Just let that be what it is. And coming back. The feet don't move in this one. And now we're going to go around to the left. The other cue here is to keep your elbow up because you get a much better stretch through the upper part of your back. And then back around. Okay. So the last in this series of movements is that we stand up and we move our, if we're standing up, we swivel our feet around to the right. Again, left hand coming up onto the right shoulder. See how high my elbow is, level with my shoulder. And we keep on twisting. The left heel comes off the ground, and this time the right arm comes around behind you and just rests on your waist. And just pause there for a couple of breaths, being completely relaxed. come back around to the other side and to the left. So now right hand onto left shoulder, elbows high, left hand wrapped around behind you, right heel off the ground. Looking over the left shoulder as best you can. And lengthening up, very comfortable here. Just resting. And for those people who are sitting down, we'll just repeat that. So hands up. We're going to have the left hand on the right shoulder, twisting through the spine and wrapping the arm around. Even though you're sitting here, you'll still get a slightly deeper stretch than the previous movement. And around. So you can see that you can do these movements sitting in a chair, in an office or at home, or you can quietly do them standing out there. These twists are a beautiful standalone movement that you can do even if you're not doing the sequence. So taking your feet now so that they rest underneath your shoulders. So I'll just move the chair away. Again, you can do this on a chair. So you may see that my feet are a bit further apart. They're sitting underneath my shoulders. So you lengthen up through your body. Lengthen up. So it's only a very slight back bend, but you may see my chin is still tucked in. Lengthening up, and then you take your hips back. Relax the back of your neck. Soften your knees and uncurl through your spine. Oh, I love this movement. And hips back. I used to visualize this all the time. And this is one of my favorite stories from when I went back for my second teacher training model. I discovered that I could actually physically do this movement. It was one of the most exciting movements of my life. And I could teach my peers how to do this movement because I had been imagining the perfect version. So what we're doing is we're sequentially going a little bit deeper each time and then curling up, vertebra by vertebra, up through the spine, never going lower than what your body is comfortable with. Coming down and uncurling. Now wherever you are, let your body hang over, just relaxing down. I'm not going to go too far today, just in case there are people who are following me for whom it's the first time. So just gently swinging, but please feel free. If you can go all the way down, don't let this stop you from doing it. And just swinging from side to side. A little bit like an elephant's trunk. You may notice that your body gets a little bit lower with your swing. It's just because the muscles are all stretching and so on. But make sure you look after your health, your heart and blood pressure and so on. I'm also going to show this on a chair because I think it's a really good one to do. I generally advise this for people who are working in an office, just gently uncurling in the same way that we were doing as we were standing. And when it comes to the bending over, you just rest your elbows on your knees and just let your head dangle from side to side. It's very, very cool. So from that position of being bent over, what I invite you to do is to take your feet quite far apart now and swivel them both to the right side, and with your torso straight, so we're hinging from the hips again and lengthening over. And we're just going to give say hello to our feet, particularly the right foot at this point, and give our leg, a little bit of a massage, the back of our hips, a massage. Again, you can do this sitting down just by taking the right foot out in front of you and giving it a bit of a rub and drawing the toes back towards you. And now we're going to walk our way or swivel our way around to the left, and we're going to do the same for the left leg. And you may notice, you can say hello to your left foot now, but you may notice as you're rubbing this left leg that it's actually getting more comfortable. Your lower back, give that a bit of a rub, and really just feel that stretch. Your whole body is now currently warming up. And now I invite you to sit or squat. For me, when I do this, I like to squat, but there are many people who can't for whatever reason. So certainly when I first started doing that, I was one of those people. It took me, I think, about a year of practicing before I could squat. That was in 2007. So here we are. This is the gesture of courage. So your hands are, fingers are splayed, your palms are facing out. And I want you to make an intention for your day that for you at this point would seem courageous. And then I want you to fold over. Remember, we're keeping our back straight. Place your hands on your thighs, fold over. And then in the same way, uncurl your spine, coming back up and into this gesture of courage. If you're not doing this on a chair and you're not squatting, the way that we do this is that we bend our knees into a sumo squat and place our hands, and that we uncurl and come down into this gesture of courage. Okay, so whichever one you're doing, let's do it again. So folding over, hands either on your thighs or coming down into a full squat or in your chair, and then you uncurl and you remember this intention, this courageous intention. And the way that we do that is that we say it in the present moment as if we're already living that intention. And fold over, uncurl, coming up, come up. Last time. Come over, uncurl, coming up. And now I want you to bring the backs of your hands together. Straighten your legs if you're standing, lengthen up if you're sitting, just open up. And hold your life in this cup, your own life, that you have power over. You may not have any influence on what's going on outside this room, but this body, this mind, these emotions, this is where your power lies. Remember your intention, and then draw all that power up. Concentrate it between your hands and draw it down into your heart. Fingertips in, turn your palms over and offer. Share this power with the people around you. And coming down. And pausing. You may like to let your eyes close for a moment. Bring your feet back into hip width. Relax your shoulders. Allow your breathing to come to a slow, soft breath. Bring your attention into your heart and just take a few moments imagining that your breath is flowing in and out of your heart. Soft, slow breathing. Expanding your heart with your in-breath and releasing tension with your out-breath. it's comfortable for you, bring your hands to meet in front of your heart. May all beings be at peace, and may you all live in the true peace of your own hearts. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this half hour of Drew, and I will be offering classes at Splendor Yoga in the coming weeks. Every night I teach a Facebook Live meditation that is free. You're welcome to join that as well. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a lovely day.